Hey there guys, this is Sam
And Justin.
at the Survival Review, and today we're going to be talking about Robocop 2014, the remake of the classic.
I started out by saying that Robocop Remake is much better than Robocop 3.
It was not as horrible.
No,
as,
it's
as I
by
was
no
expecting.
means an awful movie.
It wasn't good. He liked it slightly more than I did.
Slightly. I'm not too much,
but
basically most of the stuff that I didn't like, I already knew going in because I saw the trailer.
And well,
So
you didn't remember it, but he read the script a long time ago when it was leaked, and
but most
you mentioned that was changed a decent bit since then.
Yeah, it might have been an earlier draft. But most of the problems I had were Murphy getting injured, in the car bomb. And
that was a really lame thing, especially when you're trying to live up to a scene as over the top and ridiculous as the original death scene with Murphy. So over the top with it's just amazing, and then car blows up.
Just this way, if you've seen the trailer, you're not going to be surprised when you watch the movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, most of the stuff that you hate about the remake is shown already in the trailer. So there's no surprise. They're gonna be like, "Oh, they did that."
Yeah.
There's no surprises like that.
The trailer. The trailers were awful, but they were actually really good because
they prepared you.
They prepared you for the parts that were bad.
Yeah. So including the black costume, I was hoping was gonna look better in motion because it looked completely awful in pictures. No, it still looks awful.
Still looked pretty bad.
I actually did really like the silver costume.
Yeah,
I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, it looked good, and that would have been the kind of costume I would have liked to see in the remake.
Yeah, in the whole movie.
In the whole movie, rather than the beginning and the end.
Yes, because little spoiler, but who cares? At the end of the movie, he gets the silver suit back.
Yeah,
but who cares?
It's going to be a sequel.
Yeah, because that's going to happen. So the plot of the movie is similar to the first.
Yeah.
But it goes in its own direction, which I liked.
Yeah, I did like the fact that it focused on his family.
Yeah, the family element. That was most of the majority of it, because he doesn't get his memory wiped at first. Yeah. So he starts out with knowing that everybody knows that he's Alex Murphy as Robocop. That's the major change. Everybody knows, they call him Alex Murphy the whole time.
Yeah.
So, and then slowly in the movie, later on in the movie, he does get his memory wiped. Then he has to get that back. So that's the big changes, and I think it worked in its advantage because it was something different.
Yeah.
When I was watching the movie, from a lot of times I wasn't really thinking about the original. I was watching it as its own thing, except for when I got to references and stuff like that. But besides that, I was mostly thinking of it as its own thing, which means it would have been much better if it wasn't called Robocop. But we probably would have actually liked this movie more if it wasn't called Robocop.
Yeah, but the fact is, it's a Robocop remake, and you can't not compare it.
No. The cast in the movie is all very good.
Yeah, the cast was good. I don't know the name of the guy who played Robocop.
Joel Kinnaman, I think. That's his name. I
think
think
he wasn't bad.
He was good. He was good. Not great, but he was good.
Yeah. And obviously, the big names. You got Michael Keaton,
Gary Oldman, and Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. They
all did good in their parts.
Yeah, I like Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman I think was probably the best part of the movie. Yeah. He was the only character you really cared for during the movie, because he was the scientist who created Robocop. He had conflicting stuff going on. Yeah, you were with it. I was like, yeah. And I like Michael Keaton just because he's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
It's Batman.
Even though his character was...
The character was very... A lot of one of the things I like to say, I think they spent all their money on those three guys.
Yeah.
Because there is the Clarence Boddicker type character in this movie. The one who set up Murphy, who in this one who set the car bomb. And didn't kill him, but set the car bomb. And that character is played by... generic actor number 22. He's nothing. There's nothing special about him. He's not even a big deal. And that brings up to my two legit problems I had with the movie while watching it. Is that whole storyline with him getting revenge on the guy who set the car bomb. it really goes nowhere, and when it ends, it just ends.
Yeah.
It just like guess spoil whatever. He takes out the bad guy, and then that's the end of that subplot.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, oh.
And it was so uneventful, like.
And the way he took him out, it was just like, you just shot him.
That was it.
That was basically it.
It was it.
And then my other problem is that they kind of when he loses his like emotions and everything, he has to regain that back, you know. And that happened in the original. I did that so perfectly by him slowly getting it back. Like Officer Lewis like saying, "Murphy, it's you," and the bad guy saying like, "Oh, we killed you." He slowly gets it back. In this movie, it happens in one scene.
Yeah.
And he gets it back. And I was like, I felt like they're like, we don't have too much time left. We're trying to make this movie under 2 hours. And I felt like they should have cut some stuff from the beginning and made the middle longer.
Yeah, I agree.
Because most of the first half of the movie is like him training. And it was intriguing, but they could have done better.
Speaking of which, the character that was like his trainer, who was in charge of like training robots and different things,
Jackie Earle Haley, who was Rorschach in Watchmen, he was good.
Yeah, he was another one of the good.
I've always liked that actor. It was good to see him in this movie. Most of the problems like stem from the script. Like some stuff felt a little underdeveloped. Like the whole corrupt police like section, like the whole police force is like corrupt. That doesn't go anywhere. And also, the villains, like, are really lame. But not that, their motivation... Like, I guess I get into, like, mild spoiler here at the end. I mean, not mild, it is spoiler. That Michael Keaton ends up being, like, the main bad guy. Like, I don't get exactly why they weren't happy with Robocop at the end. Like, he was basically doing his job. Like, I don't know, I just didn't get why they wanted to take him out at the end. They didn't explain that. You know what I mean?
The whole thing felt really... just scattered, like they wrote the whole thing really quickly and didn't think too much into it. But there were so many things that just, like you said, didn't lead to anything.
Mm-hmm. There were good moments in the movie. I just like the one scene where Robocop went and talked to the two corrupt cops. The like interrogation type scene. That was actually a really good scene. I like that. Yeah. And even the action, which doesn't go as over the top as I was expecting. Like it's pretty like low key for this type of movie. Like it's not even that many action scenes to begin with in the movie.
The ones that they were good.
They were good.
Especially the one that I remember is the one with the Ed 209.
Yeah, that was the only problem is some of the dodgy CGI whenever Robocop was running and jumping. Yeah. That looked bad, but that scene where he's like fighting off like 3 Ed 209s was enjoyable. It was fun.
I thought it was kind of cool.
It was a fun scene.
Does it hurt me to see an Ed 209 not in stop motion? Yeah, a little bit, but you know.
A bit.
But you can't. I'm comparing it too much to the original.
Yeah. They use the RoboCop theme in the movie.
Yeah.
But not enough. Like when they do it in the opening like scene, when like the title pops in, and it got me a bit pumped. I'm like, yeah, RoboCop, and then just the song.
And then you realize, oh wait, this isn't good.
But either way, like the song fades out, and you never hear it for the rest of the movie until the end. And I felt it kind of lacked the satirical elements.
Yes.
Like they tried with Samuel Jackson's character being like a talk show host.
Yeah. And
the only problem is they tried to make it real, not as ridiculous as the original. And it didn't come out. They should have had more like news stories like the original did.
Yeah.
Instead it was just Samuel Jackson talking about robots.
Pretty much.
And I was like, you could have did more. You almost had it.
You almost
had it. I liked that the director, I don't know his name, but you can tell he tried to do something. You can tell it wasn't just like any hack director, just kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of directing. I like that. There's an effort to it. I like that opening scene. I thought that was really good where they were like showing off the robots. And there's one good joke with Michael Keaton and the like marketing guy where they show like a RoboCop design that like opens up to like, all these flashing lights and stuff like that, and the guy just goes like, you know, kids like things that transform. Keaton just goes like, no. And I'm like, yeah, that was a good joke. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that the movie didn't try to reference the original so much.
It did at times, but like
it was only
were only like a handful of times, and it was quick little.
It was just like lines. It was just saying a line that was similar to the original, and
like there was one part where somebody says, "I'd buy that for $1," which that one did make me sigh.
I didn't mind it because it was like it happened so fast. It felt like just a line. He wasn't just like, I'd buy that for $1. It wasn't like winking at the camera, you know.
I suppose, but it's. Still
I actually thought the Dead or Alive Come With Me one was very underwhelming.
Yeah, it was.
I actually didn't like that one. I thought that was underwhelming. But I like that. They weren't constantly reminding you of the original.
Yeah.
Which is what most remakes do, and that makes you just wish you were watching the original. And this one it didn't. It went in its own direction. I'll give it that. I don't hate it. I mean, it's a perfectly enjoyable movie for what it is. You know, I'm surprised I'm not ripping it apart like I thought I would.
I was not a huge fan. It had its moments. I didn't like it quite as much as him.
I thought it was serviceable.
I would not call it a good movie.
Will I ever watch the movie again? No. But if I had to, I wouldn't mind it. You know, I wouldn't mind watching it again. It's not going to kill me to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
But it's something I'd plan on. I don't highly recommend it. I barely recommend. Just yeah.
I don't recommend.
If it's like matinee and if you have nothing better to do with your time, then you're not gonna. It's not gonna kill you.
Which is what we did.
Pretty much, yeah. Early bird showing it.
We decided to give this movie as little money as possible, and
so it was an early
$6.
Yeah, 6 hour early bird showing. So not bad.
Not bad.
I don't mind that I spent $6 on it, but if I spent 10, yeah, that would have been a waste.
Yep,
for sure. Out of 10.
Out of 10. 5.
5. I'm gonna go 6.
I give it
a
a 5.
mildly positive 6. So, nowhere near as bad as it could have been or as it should have been.
I just thought it was very average.
It is. It's an average movie that I gave just a barely passing score. I say it's average. It's not gonna kill you. It's not the worst remake.
No.
There's something like.
It's not a movie where you're gonna be like, why am I watching this the whole time?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either, but I didn't like it either.
I thought it was okay. That's the Robocop remake.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we've got to say about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time.
Mm-hmm.